Alright, what is up, y'all? Welcome back, and y'all saw the title. So today we're going to be talking about an incident where an entitled brat had a major meltdown over not receiving a tip. So I guess she's like a DoorDash driver or something, and look, I'ma just come out and say it, like, when did this behavior become normalized? Like, tips have always been optional, and I feel like it's starting to get really crazy, to the point where people are demanding them for less than the bare minimum, as you'll clearly see in this clip. So I feel like this is somewhat of an isolated phenomenon here specifically in the US, because I never see this type of behavior anywhere else. And honestly, I envy y'all, because whenever I see this, I cringe so hard. But honestly, let's go ahead and roll the clip, and then we'll talk about it.
See how much work it was, and why I should be getting a tip because of how much work
No,
this was.
you don't deserve a tip. You certainly don't.
Why do I not?
You're crushing the ramen noodles for
I'm
one.
not crushing anything.
Yes,
the ramen noodles are perfectly fine.
No,
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, they're not.
They're perfectly
I just saw
fine.
You crush them.
They're not crushed. And why does it matter anyways? I'm taking it back to the store. They're not for you anymore.
So right off the rip, she claims she did so much work. Like, bitch, if you think you're so hardworking and deserve more money in the form of a tip, which again is optional, I'm thinking it's time to get a new fucking job. You know, time to hit the goddamn oil fields and do some real work, because clearly you're just too hardworking to not receive a couple extra bucks. Like, it's actually kind of crazy to think that this is all over just a couple extra bucks. Like, you really need a reality check. Like, God, this entitlement is so obnoxious. I cringe when I see behavior like this, because it really just feeds into that whole, you know, oh, Americans are so entitled narrative that gets passed around. And look, I'll be honest, I get why after seeing this. But like, at the same time, please take my word for it when I say that we do not claim this bitch.
They're not for you anymore. I just told you why I should get a tip. I had to pack all of this in my car and bring it to you guys and unpack it. You did not pay me. You paid the serve. You paid the delivery app.
Food, okay?
You paid the delivery app. You did not pay me. Do you not understand that? No, I'm taking all of this back.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No,
you guys can get your refund, and another delivery driver can deal with you guys. I'm not going to deal with it.
No, you're stealing.
No, I'm not stealing it. I'm taking it back.
How do we know you're going to take it back to the store? How do we know you're going to take it back to the store?
You'll get a receipt. Trust me.
No,
you'll get your receipt.
I won't.
Yeah,
Okay.
you will. I'm gonna go take it back to the store.
I just don't.
I don't need all this
You're
stuff,
gonna get
so I don't
fired.
have a reason to have it. So I'm gonna take it back to the store.
So I thought it was kind of interesting. This is where it gets really crazy. How bro said, how do we know you're gonna take it back, right? And so I just thought that that was super funny, because basically she hit him with the source, trust me, bro. But I think this situation really is just so crazy, because they really are having their stuff stolen right before their eyes. And I'm starting to think that maybe bro has a point here as well, you know? You say you don't need their groceries, but you're going absolutely insane over a tip that you are simply not entitled to. Like, tipping is an optional gesture. It's something you are not entitled to just because you did the bare minimum. Or honestly, in this case, I wouldn't even say you're doing the bare minimum, because you actually are crushing her ramen noodles, and you gave zero fucks about it too. Like, how can you conduct yourself like this and think, yeah, you know, I may have fucked up your shit and conducted myself like an entitled piece of shit by shaming you, but I totally deserve it. Like, yes, clearly. But like, seriously, not only have you shamed these people for not tipping you, but you also, you know, basically spit in their faces saying, oh, I don't need your groceries, and yet you've gone so apeshit over a tip. So honestly, in my personal opinion, what's to stop you from stealing their groceries?
I'm not stealing it. I'm taking it back to the store.
No,
What's
you
what
are.
understand?
You are. You're gonna go
Clearly,
to jail.
you're not understanding, because I'm telling you right now, it's going back to the store. You guys can get your money back, and you can hire another driver.
You can't just take things.
Go ahead and drive another driver.
No, you can't take.
Go ahead and drive. Get another driver to.
You can't take things that don't belong to you. You clearly don't understand how this. To confirm the order, it's my property.
That doesn't
Or do
matter.
you not
guys
understand
can
what
just
property
get your
is?
refund back, so that I don't have to deal with you guys.
No, you're gonna lose your job.
No, and at this point, I'd rather lose my job than have to deal with you guys. At this point,
So you're
I'll just
gonna
give
load all of it up.
I'm gonna load it all back
You
up
are
and
so
get you guys
illogical.
and get you guys' return.
I feel like this is just a waste of time. You're just wasting your time.
I'd
That's
rather
probably
waste
why.
my time than deal with you guys at this point. I'd rather you guys deal with another delivery person, and then you can see that they're gonna have an issue as well, because
We're not gonna
you're not
tip.
tipping.
So they explained to her multiple times that she's stealing their shit, and she keeps saying that she's not stealing it, she's just taking it from them and bringing it back to the store. so that they'll have to get a different driver to then come deliver it back, or they get a refund or something. Just makes absolutely zero sense. In other words, what she's saying is she's fucking stealing their shit, right? And I don't understand, man. We've of course talked about how this has now inconvenienced them, but I just feel like this driver's logic here is so ass backwards. Because, like, let's say she was going to use the tip money for the gas tank, right? This is all hypothetical, of course, but let's say for the sake of the argument, that's what she's going to do, right? Now you gotta not only waste these people's time and your own, because you really are. By making it a bigger deal than it is, you're just spending more time at this person's house. That's time that you could be working, making more money, but that's a totally different argument, I guess. That's too complex for her finite mind. But you have to empty that gas tank by driving all the way back to the store and inconvenience a bunch of minimum wage employees at Walmart or whatever to put all $400 worth of that shit back on the shelves. And for what, man? A couple bucks in tips? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, it's bad enough you can be so entitled despite offering shitty service, but she doesn't once think about all the people she's inconveniencing here. She only thinks about herself. And how can you be so ignorant to the fact that this is just gonna burden you? Like, obviously your time is being wasted, but you're also wasting gas. Like, where I live, gas is $4.45 a gallon, which is actually the cheapest it's been in a minute. I mean, we've been as upwards of about $4.99 in just recent weeks. But that's still expensive as fuck. And again, she's wasting her own time too. Bro even calls her out on this. And her response is, I'd rather not waste my time with you guys, as she quite literally makes everyone's lives more difficult, including her own, by prolonging the interaction between them. Like, bitch, let's use our brain here.
I mean, tipping is optional for a reason.
It's going to become a cycle. It's going to keep
If they
happening.
wanted it to be, like, mandatory, why didn't they make this like
I
a
don't
thing?
know. I don't make the rules for these apps. I just work
I mean,
for it.
then
And
why
I'm
don't you
wondering
complain
why
to them and
guys
just
don't
give us
tip.
our food?
We do complain. Have you not been hearing about the strikes? Do you guys not watch the news?
Do a better job.
What?
Do a better job.
I did a great job, actually. I delivered all this stuff to you. I loaded it, unloaded it, and I got it here early. So I'm confused how I didn't do a good job and why I don't deserve a tip.
So once again, for like the millionth time, bro says tipping is optional, and she for some reason doesn't understand, but she responds, of course, by saying, I don't make the rules. Exactly, you dumb bitch. That's the smartest thing you've said this whole time. You're right, you don't make the rules, and therefore have no right to load their groceries back into your car, because that's stealing, which they've also pointed out multiple times. And you can't demand a tip from them because, again, that's not how it works. And again, you said it yourself. You don't make the rules. Like, by your logic, you should have just trumped yourself, and yet you're still going on and on over a couple of extra dollars. So now I want to put this all into perspective. So I want to share a story here. So I've done this before. You know, I did DoorDash as a side hustle about 2 years ago while I was in college, and two things I want to point out. So one, tips are not required. We've covered this many times in this video already. I get that. There were many times when I didn't receive one, and you know what I did? I did my job, you know, on to the next one. But there were also times when I did my job and did it well, and the customer actually would later go on to add a tip via the app afterwards. So all this entitled brat did here was essentially just make herself look like an entitled jackass. Now I'm making fun of her. Millions of other people are making fun of her because this shit went viral as fuck. Made everyone's life, including her own, harder, and guaranteed no tip in the end, which was what she wanted more than anything, you know, more than the air we breathe. And two, the app tells you that there's a tip included or not, so if you really want to be safe and not take the chance, you can choose to not take that order. You know, you have that choice. So this whole situation is honestly just stupid as fuck. And of course, not everyone shares a similar sentiment, though. There actually are people on the Funny Bird app defending this girl, you know, go figure, right? I saw someone in the comments that left this comment, and I kind of want to break it down here. So this intelligent Twitter user said, remember, this woman had to walk to the store, I guess, which she didn't, she brought her car, but she had to find the items, pack it in the cart, unpack it at the register, pack it back into the car, roll it to the car, or pack it back to the cart, roll it to the car, pack it in her car, use her gas, accept the risk of driving to you with police accidents, traffic, and car maintenance on her tab, because jobs cover all their company car maintenance, blah, blah, blah. They unpack the car again with nails on. To which I responded with, "Oh my fucking god, with nails on? Nah, you've changed my whole perspective on this. You're goofy. Tips are not required. You're contributing to this entitlement plague in this country. Her behavior is a prime example of why she doesn't deserve a tip. Maybe if she wasn't a spoiled brat." And then I followed it up by saying, "And the employees at the store gather up all the groceries and put them in your car. All she had to do is drive to the store, drive to the house, and not crush their property, the bare minimum." And she couldn't even do that, because again, she was squishing all the groceries and just making an ass of herself. So pretty much like I sum up in those tweets, she really didn't have to do anything. She's acting like a complete lunatic, an entitled little brat. And honestly, like I said in the intro, man, it's about time she hit the fucking oil fields or some shit and do some real work, because she needs a reality check. But guys, that is basically it for the video. I appreciate y'all watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like rating, subscribe to the channel for more commentaries just like this. Leave a comment down below. I would love to hear what y'all have to say about this. And until next time, guys, this is Runter, and we will catch you on the next one. Later.